While the majority of the rebellion danced in the courtyard, I remained with the incubi and the rebel leaders, who were all in the royal hall having their own celebration. Drinks were shared and battle stories were exchanged, making some laugh and others roll their eyes. I found myself intrigued at the stories Sergeant told about the front line. As I looked to Diana, however, she simply kept quiet with a small smile on her face. She looked at the incubi and the rebel leaders in silence before walking away from the little party we had. As if she knew I was staring at her, Diana looked over at me and slightly gestured with her head to follow her.
Follow her.
Okay. I followed, curious as to where she was going. I made sure to remain quiet as I separated from the rest of the group, and followed her out of the room into the hall. The entire journey, Diana didn't speak a word. Even Sedo didn't follow her, most likely being told that she wanted to speak to me alone. Diana led me through the castle, up a couple set of stairs into what looked like it'd be a royal bedroom with a balcony. Was this a guest room? It was untouched, and I could smell the very faint scent of dust. Why did she bring me here? Well, this looks familiar. Diana stepped into the sky. Okay, look. The sky outside as it was in the Demon Lord, the world, not Lord, world. I'm a mess. Diana stepped into the room using her magic to ignite the candelabras and air out the room by opening the balcony window. Before I could ask, however, Diana finally spoke up.
I have to thank you, dear.
For what?
For aiding us in this war. We've been fighting the Demon Lord for so long. We thought the war would never end. As terrible as the circumstance was, if you hadn't been summoned here, we probably would have still been fighting now.
Diana walked to the balcony and leaned against the railing, staring into the dark night sky. The light from the room illuminated her form as she gazed out at the stars. Despite the situation around us, the air seemed calm with the faint echo of the celebrations whispering through the night. I walked over and stood beside her, leaning against the balcony, and looked at Diana as she smiled and let out a chuckle.
To be very honest, I didn't expect to ever see you again. After I took your energy that night, I vowed to never deal with humans again. No clairvoyance could have told me about you coming into play in this war.
I wasn't exactly counting on coming here.
Oh.
I still don't want to be here!
Is it bad for us to say it's good to see her again? I feel like we've gone on an emotional journey. She's our friend now and our lover in a certain route.
It wasn't that good to see her last time, though.
I guess that's true. I don't know. I guess just be neutral, but at least I got to help bring peace here?
That seems fine.
Alright, I completely forgot that she kind of fucked up Damien's life.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, at least I got to help bring peace here. Diana smiled, nodding to me. I really was glad to help bring peace to a world. It wasn't out of pride or vanity. It was a matter of helping people clearly in need.
We owe you much thanks.
I'll accept your thanks when I finally get married.
Oh, I had almost forgotten.
What?
Oh, I thought she was saying she had forgotten we were gonna get married. I tilted my head at her. What was she talking about? Diana lifted one of her hands toward the night sky and waved her hand through the air, making a soft purple mist glow around her fingers. Within seconds, the mist morphed and formed itself into a lavender-covered lily, resting peacefully between Diana's fingers. She brought it down and presented it to me with a kind gaze.
A gift, my dear.
A gift?
I slowly took the flower out of Diana's hands and inspected it visually. It was light, but I could feel a soft glow of magic emanating from the stem and petals. The bloom reminded me of a human world lily, but something about it seemed otherworldly.
A flower known only to demons of Lilith. We call it the Flower of Lilith, because these flowers were said to have been created when Lilith first appeared in the abyssal plains.
I stared at Diana, not understanding why she was giving me such a gift. She chuckled at my confusion and leaned against the railing, continuing her explanation.
It is also a flower we succubi use when we marry.
Ah,
Use? What do you mean?
I stick it in my vagina, Laundry. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't ever do that. Diana chuckled before she gently took the flower from my hands and tucked it behind my ear. As it settled against my ear, I felt mist circle in my head, and it formed into a flower crown of lavender lilies. The way Diana looked at me made me feel like I was in my bridal wear already.
A human you may be, but Lilith would have been proud to see you marrying one of her own. These flowers represent her blessing, and may only crown the worthy.
Aw, shucks.
Aww.
I felt a blush run across my cheeks. This was a blessing? I slowly reached up and ran my fingers along the flower crown adorning my head, feeling the soft petals against my fingertips. They were almost pulsing with energy. I felt both flattered and honored that a simple flower felt that I was worthy enough to crown my head. Diana let out a sigh and looked back to the sky, making me do the same. One would have expected the sky to be full of smoke or smell of a war's aftermath, but the sky was clear, and fresh air drifted through my nose as I inhaled. Oh God! Oh God! It was indeed another world, and tonight was my last night in it. Ah!
Well, you did it! Congratulations! You've made it to the end of your story. I have to say, I am
Where's
very
my
surprised
wedding,
at how it
bitch?
turned out. Nevertheless, I'm glad things worked out in the end, whether it was for the better or otherwise.
I don't care what you think!
Despite everything Damien went through, it was all worth it to obtain it. He got his revenge. Anyways,
Okay, bye.
After the war was finished,
Did you
the
skip
entire
everything?
rebellion
Well,
celebrated.
Listening
Word
to what
spread
happened
far
after
and
now.
wide about the rebellion's
Oh.
success, and soon every kingdom in the abyssal plains had become united with the new
What
authority.
happened after the war?
You would think demons would
I don't
be
know where
more
you are. Where
hostile
are
towards
you?
each other, being demons and all. But the
I'm on
threat
You Would
of
Think
the demon
Demons.
lord was what brought the entire world together. The entire world united under one banner, the Lilith crest. Diana became the sovereign of the entire plane, accepted and loved by practically everyone because of her devotion to the world and her bravery in the war. And, thanks to you, she was finally able to find true love in the form of a tainted Nephilim named Sero. Oh, crap! I shouldn't have let that one slip. Anyway, when they bound their
What the fuck
souls
is a
together
Nephilim?
in marriage, he became
Half
king of the
demon,
demon
half
world.
angel.
However,
Oh.
it was just a title to him. The real power belonged to Diana. Diana became one of the most beloved rulers in all
Simba.
of demon world history. Her natural heart of gold led her to lead the world to a prosperous future, one filled with peace and happiness. The other rebel leaders supported her, eventually changing the caste system of the world and slowly working their way towards a plane as equal and peaceful as it could be. Diana had her suspicions, of course, as any monarch would, but if they had any sort of bad thoughts about her before, they certainly didn't during the recreation of the world. And I believe that is everything that happened after, well, except for your story anyway. Damien and you, both completely human now, return home and set up once more for your wedding.
What is my
Take two.
story?
Huh? How do I know?
Maybe you should shut the fuck up, Kay. You're the worst narrator ever. I hate you.
I know. It took a while.
It took a while to get everything back in order. With the help of Damien's brothers and their wives, we were able to finally have the wedding Damien and I dreamed of. Everything was organized to the T, and it was indeed perfect. The revels of the ceremony and reception still shook through me, even through the honeymoon. It was so unreal. I was married to the love of my life, and we were about to I can't say the word live, apparently. Live our lives together forever. I could go on and on about the wedding and the honeymoon, but honestly, after the war, I was more concerned of living my life afterwards. Our lives escalated to new heights after we officially became husband and wife. Damien finally settled on what he wanted to do, dedicating himself to writing small stories for children.
Aww! And then I can illustrate them!
Reading to him became a passion because he couldn't read! Drawing him towards teaching children to learn before they had gotten older. It was beautiful, to say the least.
Aww!
As for me, I began to go through my own success in life, dedicating myself to becoming exactly what I wanted to be. After all, Damien was dedicated to his working goal. If I put in the same amount of work as I did in the demon world, then I was going to be okay. Except we don't get to know what you did.
It's supposed to be up to the player, because Mika is a vessel.
However, sorry, honestly, personally, I don't like the idea I don't like the vessel protagonist.
I think it's bullshit because she already gave Mika a personality. From day one!
You know what? This is fucking true. Like, if... No! I'm just gonna move on.
Mika has never been blank. It's only when Michaela doesn't want to answer questions about her.
Oh! But true, honestly. She never figured out what she wanted for her career, which is fine, but... Anyway, however, there was never a day that went by that I didn't think about what was happening in the Abyssal Plains. It was a heavy chapter of my life, one that tested the love between me and Damien. While the struggle was rough, Damien was finally able to realize his dream of being a human. Even more so, he was able to take down his father and gain revenge not only for his mother, but for what the Demon Lord had done to him as a child. I was so proud of him, and I was even more proud to call him mine. This change affected us both, and who knew what the future had in store now? Still, I was confident that we would get through it and stay together no matter what came our way. Demon, devil, whatever, it didn't matter to us. We were unstoppable. Together. A moment to myself was all it took to remember everything that went on during my time in the Abyssal Plains. It was a heavy part of my life, and a chapter I would never forget as long as I lived. I sat in bed, waiting for Damien to return from his visit to the Anderson Toys Company. He wanted to pitch his next book idea to his brother, and hopefully get some funding for art and publishing, but I had high hopes for it regardless. It was boring.
Hold on. Funding for art and publishing?
Hold on.
That is not remotely how the children's book industry works.
I let it slide because I was just like, look, this universe clearly doesn't make sense in any way.
That's not how it works!
I know it's not how
That's not how it works!
Okay. It was boring, however, just waiting. I let off a sigh and slid off of the bed, standing and stretching.
What to do?
I began to let my feet guide me through the house, wanting something to take my attention. As I let my mind wander, I couldn't help remembering the secret alcove the house had, where Damien confessed his love for me. I wondered, was it still there?
You've never been back?
Why wouldn't it? I walked through my memory, trying to find the secret passage once again. With my luck, I managed to find it and walk through it, leaving the passageway open for Damien to find me later, in case I stuck around this spring for long. Why have we not been using this for 3 years?
Didn't Michaela say that was his favorite place to have sex? Why have you not been back?
Michaela, you got some explaining to do. I walked through the dark passage and eventually entered the magical sphere my grandfather had created for the mansion, hiding a beautiful hot spring. The steam was just as heavy as it was when I was last in the space, making me smile and let out a relaxing sigh. A moment in the spring was well worth everything I had gone through. I stripped down and slowly eased myself into the spring, feeling the water slowly drain my aches and stress away the lower I slid myself. As I finally sat down, another sigh couldn't stop itself from escaping me, taking in the fresh air and a slight hint of flowers emanating in the air. My thoughts simply melted away, letting me simply sit back against the edge of the spring and indulge in the warmth around my body. The only thing that would have made the experience perfect was Damien beside me to cuddle against.
Among other things.
Dicks, as if fate answered my selfish prayer. My thoughts were broken by the sound of slowly approaching footsteps, making me look over with a smile as I spotted familiar blue-violet eyes.
Thank you for proofreading as you read.
Hey, enjoying the spring?
Damien slowly began to walk towards me, stripping out of his clothes to join me as I smiled and nodded, lying back against the edge of the spring lazily.
The water's so good. You're missing out.
Ah!
Aw!
Damien chuckled before finally joining me, sitting beside me and wrapping his arms around me. I giggled in return, nuzzling into his shoulder and chest. The water may have been warm, but feeling Damien against me made me feel just right. Damien nuzzled my head with his and kissed over my shoulder gently.
How was the meeting with James?
It went good. I got the funding.
I pulled away, suddenly excited for Damien. He grinned at me, nodding and affirming his words with a happy expression.
That's awesome! Congratulations!
Damien laughed and gently kissed me before pulling me into a hug, wrapping his arms fully around me and holding me close. I cuddled into his embrace, waves of joy practically emanating from us. This was the start of Damien's future, and I would be standing beside him, eager to see him grow and become the successful person he wanted to be. Damien softly kissed my cheek and let a sigh, relaxing his embrace but not letting me go.
You are such an inspiration to me.
Damien.
It's true. You've supported me and been with me ever since we met. You did everything to protect me and give me everything I could have ever wanted.
Damien slightly pulled away and stared into my eyes, his own full of love and passion that glimmered in the light of the magically made moon above us.
How did I ever come to deserve you?
I smiled sweetly and cupped Damien's cheek, feeling him nuzzle into my palm as I kissed his cheek softly. I knew very well that our relationship came from us deserving each other. I loved him, and he loved me. It was all that mattered in the end.
I should be asking the same thing, but I know that we perfectly deserve each other.
I felt like I was in some sort of blissful dream, staring into Damien's eyes as he became lost in mine.
I love you, Damien.
I love you too.
I couldn't stop my smile from growing before leaning in and kissing Damien lovingly, feeling him kiss back with the same amount of love and passion I had. Our lives would lead us to a blissful future, one full of adventure, joy, and endless waves of affection for one another. He obtained his dream, and I had obtained mine. And that was my perfect, happily ever after. And you are my dearest dream. Hey!
Hey! Yay, we did it!
Woo! Shh, credit song.
Whoop.
God fucking damn it.
Don't make me wait for you. I'll show you what to do. There's a place beyond where we can be free. Let's fly, my love. We'll reach the sky above. We'll soar like eagles through the breeze. I'll fly so high with ease. Don't make me wait for you. I'll show you what to do. There's a place beyond where we can be free. Just you and me.
Yay!
Huzzah! Oh god, question mark. Woo!
Woo!
We did it!
We did it!
We re-banged the bay.
Yup, that we did. So that was Damien's route. Thank you
He's-
so much for watching!
He's a cutie, and I love him, and I will cherish him forever.
Yes.
Personal thoughts on the route?
Communicate with the
Person-
people you're in a relationship with.
Yes, do that.
Any other thoughts?
I don't know.
Murmur.
I don't know. I thought the overarching plot wasn't actually as interesting as the plot in the first game.
I thought that the first game was definitely more charming.
Yeah, I think the first game was more charming, which is not, I don't know, it's not that I think this is a bad game, but it's kind of I think that's usually the issue that you have with sequels, especially when they...
It's like a totally different kind of story, too.
Yeah, and then like Diana, because like Diana was like a big villain and like, I mean, obviously I know like
And she said and did some pretty terrible things.
Yeah!
Though I did feel that the action scenes were pretty well described.
Okay, but I had to fucking read all of them aloud. And also, we didn't get to see much of the brothers.
Yeah.
Honestly, you know what? No, this is what my problem is with it. It's the Diana story, no matter whose route you're on.
That's true.
It just feels like Diana. I'm like, I'm on this route because I want to bang Damien. I want to hear about Damien a lot. I want to see his brothers. Yes, Diana's important to the plot and is not, and I enjoy her character, so have her there, but like, everything was, I felt like I was playing Diana route, except I was dating Damien.
Yeah, it is kind of like that.
I think the emotional scenes with Damien were really good, especially when he was having to deal with the fact that he actually hadn't been turned human, which is so fucking horseshit to do to him. At the same time, though, I was still totally there for Damien calling his dad a bastard. I'm like, who's the bastard now? Who's the bastard now? I have mixed feelings. I don't think it was the best done route, but also I think that Damien's route in the original Seduce Me was, like, near perfection.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to reach that again. But I look forward to more, so we'll see. We got little Matthew up next.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're ready to move on.
Okay. Look forward to seeing Matthew next. Thanks
Woo-woo!
for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Simon Tabby out.
Bye-bye!
Bye.